What's up, y'all? It's your boy BZ, and we about to give y'all a little quick message. Just got done meditating outside, so I was like, why not just, get y'all a couple messages since we really ain't did in a minute, Angels, ancestors, spirit guides to the highest, purest, healing white light. I ask that you to protect me as I go into this reading. I ask that you give me the strength to speak whatever messages need to be spoken and help whoever needs to be helped. All right. So here we go. Hope y'all can hear me. It's a little windy outside, but all right. So we got a couple out. The first one is Labyrinth of Choices. Chart your course through the perplexed labyrinth of choices, embracing each turn as a part of the complex journey. So first off, what I'm kind of getting from that is think about when you make a right or a wrong choice, right? Every step that you take puts you somewhere on your path, whether that's good or bad, right? But you got to remember, so that's why it's always being mindful of the choices that we are making or the decisions, right? And making sure that we're making the right choices. So you think about a maze, right? Usually like a maze, it takes you longer to get to the end if you keep going down the wrong path. Or like, I was gonna say like making the wrong turns, but if you keep going down the wrong path, it's gonna take you longer to get to the end. Next we got Divine Flow. It says, let go of attachment to the outcome and let the universe bring gifts. So this is kind of giving me that energy of like chasing something. So maybe somebody is trying to make a certain choice about something or do something a particular way. But remember what I just said, right? If you keep making the wrong choices, then trying to get to the end of something is gonna take way longer. So the next one we got is the Cloud of Unknowing. Float on the cloud of the unknown, surrender to the mystery, and embrace the sacred within. So this is kind of giving me like the leap of faith energy. But like when you're scared to take that leap of faith, a lot of times you'll be like, it's kind of giving me like trust fall, right? You scared to fall, you scared to like fail. But the thing is like you're never failing because God is always there. You believe in God, right? So it's like trust Him, and that comes with the unknown too, There's a little bug. Inner vision. It says, cut through the fog of confusion with the power of discernment. Yeah, so paying attention to like how things make you feel, whether that's good or bad, and not thinking. So this is kind of giving me the energy of like seeing with the eyes, right? And so that's kind of giving me the energy of like seeing is believing, but also what I said before, right? It says, cut through the fog of confusion. So sometimes we get, in our mind, we get confused, right? Versus when you have to look at something for what it is, you look at it for what it is. You don't let your mind tell you what it is. You let your inner vision, your inner, what you know, what you feel, tell you. Next, we have the Eclipse of Concealment. Navigating through, and I think it is about to be a lunar, so a new moon. Navigate through the eclipse of concealment, understanding the cynical nature of hidden phases and awaiting revelations. So this is kind of giving me the energy of like waking up to something, or like seeing something from a different understanding. I'm hearing building a different understanding. So you could also be around this time like looking at past choices and kind of really seeing how maybe something took a little longer because of like wrong choices, right? But what I'm saying is now you're getting this inner vision to see that like it was all about the divine flow. Meaning like it was about you, not really. I'm not getting that it's not chasing something, but I'm getting that with the divine flow is like if you're overthinking something. So let's say if it's something you want to manifest, right? But you steady like, dang, I want to manifest, dang, I want to manifest, dang, I want to manifest, right? But you're not doing anything, or like you're not letting the universe like let things play out for it to happen, And so that's kind of giving me that energy of like getting to this point of understanding what could be changed or like what needs to be changed, or like, but I'm going back to this with looking at like learning from like where you went wrong, or like learning from your wrongs, or learning from a wrong. All right, and then we got the grove of unity. Bind energies in the unified sanctuary of the grove, fostering interconnectedness, harmony among all beings. So this is also, okay, this give me the energy of all is one. So you know how like a lot of times like everybody think we're so separate, but I mean we're all the same. It's just we all have different things that we may have been through. Some people are stronger than others. Some people have been through more than others. You know, some people haven't really been through anything. So you got to remember that, but we all are connected to the same. Like, think about this, right? When you look at this, right, this makes me think about, I'm out in nature right now, right? But we literally come from the earth. We literally come from the universe. We come from all existence, right? So when you start looking at everyone as a part of, like, this is all a part of who we are, and not looking at it from that existential point of, this is who they are. Because I'm kind of getting energy of like not I'm kind of getting the energy of like not seeing self, but like, okay, like seeing yourself but not seeing yourself. Because especially with that inner vision, right? So maybe that's probably saying like, take a step back from looking at things from an outer perspective, like looking so outside of the world. Because what it says, cut through the confusion, the fog of confusion. And a lot of times where the confusion lies is within our mind. It's within the overthinking. It's within the negative thoughts that we have that create these illusions, right? And then it pushes, and so that's mixing, right? It pushes you down this path also of like, it also pushes you down this path of making the wrong turn. So maybe in the past, like you wasn't using your inner vision to guide you. You probably were just moving off of more of like the ego, or moving from like confusion in the mind. But I feel like now, okay, these two cards popped out. This one's trying to hide. So we got resurrection and right track. Yeah. So I feel like something is on the right track, or you are on the right track to resurrecting. It says shake off the past and rise again. Reinvent yourself. It says AD, so that means think about after death, right? And you remember how like Jesus rose in 3 days, right? But if y'all remember, when Jesus got put on the cross, the thing about that was the simple fact that he knew that it was going to be meant for him to have to go through that, you know? And he didn't fight God on that. He didn't go to God and was like, God, why do I have to go through this? God, like, he knew that it was a part of his path to get sacrificed. But if y'all see, he surrendered to what was supposed to be part of his mission or purpose, right? But then what happened 3 days later? He came back, what? I ain't finna say 10 times strong, but he came back way stronger, right? And people, it was like a miracle. But I'm kind of getting that too with you. Like, something's gonna be a miracle, or like you have the ability to bring a miracle into your life, and it's literally through you building this new version of yourself. Because I feel like there's a part of you that is trying to balance out whether this is something that will be good for you. But I'm getting the energy of that. So remember what I said, right? About I'm getting back to that inner vision, right? Well, if you think about the inner vision, right? If you tune inward and really ask yourself that question, if this is that, or if this is something that you should do or not, you're gonna be guided to that right choice, right? A lot of times it'd be our ego that give us that quick decision, that quick reaction of what we do. But when you follow more of like, you know, listening to your intuition or your soul, then that's where you start really diving more from that perspective of like getting clear on what's the best for you. Not just what's in the moment the best, but like long term what's supposed to be best. Kind of like getting into the balance of realizing like what's for your highest good and like what's for like your short term or not good. Because it said, look, oh my God, look, and what did we say earlier about the mind, right? It literally says, harmonize your inner scales to weigh the decisions with both heart and mind. Meaning like, it's not just gonna be how you think about something, it's about how you feel as well. Connected to the heart, how you feel, right? A lot of times people close off the heart because they don't want to feel. And that's usually where a lot of people lose their intuition, or they lose that feeling of something is bad, right? Or a feeling of something is good, and they go off the mind's perception of if it's good or if it's bad, right? So the whole time your mind could be perceiving something as bad, but then your heart is telling you, or your heart is feeling that this is good, right? And it could be the vice versa, right? You could be thinking like something's like good, but then it may be bad, right? But because you're not paying attention to your internal guidance or your intuition, you're steady making the same decision. I'm getting that card again. I'm seeing that card again in my head. Where is it at? Where is it at? You're still making that. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah. Because see, the thing is, if you was following your intuition, you would know which way to turn, right? It wouldn't be fear of making the wrong turn. Because even if you look at the person looks like distorted. So like that kind of gives me that energy of like not seeing clearly, or not seeing clearly. And then crazy, right? And then that card came. Oh, and that's so crazy. This card is literally behind it. I'm telling y'all. So y'all couldn't see which way to take before, or like you were blinded by the mind trying to rationalize like which way you should go or like what you should be doing. But I feel like someone is now realizing like they need their heart and mind. Like, so somebody's realizing like the heart matters too. Or like, you know, that's what really connects them to feeling what they need to feel. So somebody could have been just trying to move off like logic, which I understand. In certain circumstances in like life upbringing, you know, you do have to just move more logically with things, because trying to move more with your emotions is like, it gets you hurt. I get it, right? But when it comes to truly loving yourself, trusting yourself, you got to involve that heart. You got to involve your intuition into really guiding you to where you need to go, guiding you to the choices and decisions that you need to make. But if you're always moving off of logic, then you're going to overthink the right thing and start doing the wrong thing. And that's usually what always tends to happen. It's kind of like those people who like, it's like your first mind tell you to do something, but then here go your ego coming in like, oh no, and then you do something else. But then you realize like, it's the analogy I had slipped so hard, but it's basically like when your first mind tell you to do something, but then you overthink it, and then like later down the line you kind of see like, okay, it's kind of giving like, think about when somebody's like think of something, right? And then like the first thing that you probably think of was what they was thinking, but because you doubted yourself, or like you had that ego thought come in, you switched your answer up. And then when you kind of double back, you're like, damn, I had it right the first time. It's kind of giving me that energy. So like realizing that like sometimes when you be feeling something the first time, that be it. But when you get in the mind with it, now you start getting confused. You start building that fog, it's that mental fog of like seeing what something is or seeing what it ain't. But then like, remember what I said, right? But if you're not tapping what you're feeling, then you're only dependent on your perception, the mind's perception of what is and what ain't. So you never really get a true feel or a clear look at something, because it's always in the midst of the confusion. All right, what else? So you got rising flames, new heights. So this is kind of giving me air and fire. So you could be Aries, Sag, or Leo, or you could be an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or you could have these places in your chart somewhere, or you could be trying to balance out being in your air energy and being in your fire energy. So you think about fire, it deals with like passion. It could also deal with like anger, but mainly more passion, because even on here it says, let your passion guide you to the fulfilling what's meant for you, your passion, right? The things that give you that think about when we talk about the heart too. So you think about what ignites your fire. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. What ignites your fire, and what makes you feel like, what makes you want to go to new heights. It says, let your connection with spirit guide you. Let your connections to spirit ground you as you reach the sky. Yeah, so this is kind of giving me also the energy of like balancing out what I said before, balancing out like not getting too much in your head, but staying grounded enough to be in what you feel, you know, and building that connection to self. Because literally what people don't realize is like, everybody think God is outside of them, but God is literally within you. And that's what people fail to realize. Like, we are all extension. We are all God's children. We all hold a piece of him in us, right? But some people don't ever wake up to that within them. They don't ever realize, you know, the world is so taught that we should see like God outside of ourselves, but the real ones know that God is within you. And when you tap into that, the God in you, not you are a God, but the energy, the peace of God that is in you, that's what helps you go down the right direction. So even you see, it's kind of giving energy of like, and they're in the middle. So it's not like going one way, going the other way. You're going in the middle. So I'm kind of getting this energy of somebody realizing that it is about where you go, but like where you're headed. Like when you trust God, He leads you in the right direction. It says move forward with swift precision and do what must be done. So that's another thing too. Like when you're being guided by like God or source, right? A lot of times you're gonna be pushed to go down this path alone. And a lot of time I know people fear that because of the simple fact that it's about like, okay, I have to trust this. And remember what we said too about like being more in the energy of the unknown. It's kind of harder for you to trust something that you don't know or you ain't never experienced before. So it's new. So you're gonna have challenges, right? But that's where the trust and the faith come in of actually being able to say like, I surrender to, where God is leading me. I surrender to what He is trying to show me. And then like when you surrender, then that's when you kind of see yourself start like you literally start flowing down that path of like where you're supposed to go, what you meant to do, like who you meant to be around, right? And it's not going to be just like you're trying to create things to bring you peace, because the peace will start to unfold within you, and then it will be an extension of what is created around you. So that's why I said, 'cause a lot of people think that they have to depend on the God outside of themselves, but it's low-key, put it like this. They create the Bible to tell the stories for you to understand it outside of yourself. But spirituality dives you deeper into understanding it like more with inside of yourself. You see what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of people get it so confused, or like they built this hate and think that it's so different, but it's really just like two parts of it. The physical aspect is one part that you learn how to live, how to do. Think about the Bible. It's really a bunch of lessons. And it's crazy how like I be seeing some people, they literally be tying like situations and stuff that we be going through to like stories in the Bible. So that's just like the physical experience, but the spiritual experience is the inward, like the understanding truly, like the soul in your body and connecting with that. And bro, that's where the real true love come from. And that's something that I've been experiencing and really can share, because I've been, for a while now. It's not like I just started doing this, but for a while now on my journey, I've been, doing a lot of self-reflection and, like really sitting with myself and sitting with my thoughts, sitting with my feelings, sitting with anything that I feel, right? And a lot of times that's how I've been able to really build my connection with myself to truly love me for real, because it's like, it's a lot of things that I think we go through and we think that we have to have these outside things to depend on. But remember, when you start depending on outside things, it only brings you temporary comfort, temporary peace, right? So, and then it's kind of like when you don't have those things in your life to give you that feeling no more, then it's like you're trying to find things to recreate it. But nothing can recreate the love that you truly have within inside of you. And that's something that's sacred to each and every one of us, right? So when we're not in that connection with our spirit, our soul, then that's when you start really seeing yourself, like you start attaching and depending on things to give you fulfillment. But then again, remember what I said, right? It's not going to really give you the true fulfillment because it's outside of you. So you're depending on everything that's outside of you to fulfill something that's inside of you, which is something only you can do. So it's about really making that shift from depending on the outside world to guide you, and start listening to like your internal, right? Dive into your inner vision. Literally taking more time out to meditate and like be in the moment. Because a lot of times we're either caught up in the past or we're so caught up in the future, or like what's going to happen in the future, but we're never in the present moment of what's happening right now. And a lot of times, and it literally says, appreciate mindfulness to be present in the moment and gain insight. So a lot of times, right, think about what I said. If you're sitting through what you're feeling, and you're feeling what you're feeling, and you're processing it, right? And so it's allowing you to really get clear and get out of the illusions of the fog. Now, if you're not taking time to build stillness, if you're not taking time to build quietness and quiet spaces, or you don't have an environment that's quiet, of course there's going to be okay, I'm gonna flip it upside down. It says nurture yourself, prioritize well-being, and tread gently on your path ahead. So that's kind of giving me the energy of also taking it slow, like taking something one day at a time, one moment at a time, one situation at a time, one fear at a time, one doubt at a time, and not over bombarding yourself with like feeling this lack, because that's the thing that really stops a lot of us. It's the lack of what we feel like we have, or the lack of feeling like where we're at, right? It's ties into self-worth. Because when you're right, because that's the thing, right? When you're around the right people who allow you to become the best version of yourself, that's where you really grow. If you're around people who always judged you, or who always made you feel like you had to be someone else or be another version of yourself, that's usually where you find yourself, you start drifting farther and farther away from who you are. But look at all these people smiling on here, right? They all together because it's like they're all on the same frequency, right? Or like they're all on the same path of like what they want to do. So when you start surrounding yourself with people who are actually, it's kind of an energy of like, what they say, like, be around the people that like you want to be like, or you know. So that's kind of the energy I'm kind of getting, like being around the people that you like want to be like, or being around people that actually truly inspire you, versus then putting yourself around people who only give you, like, take you further away from who you want to be. And the reason, in the way you'll know that they're taking you further away from who you want to be, is like you feel like you have to keep shifting, and like it's kind of an energy of like you keep having to shape shift into like either who people want you to be, or like protecting, like you feel like you can't be yourself fully. That's basically what I'm saying. You feel like you can't be yourself fully. You feel like you got to be like a certain version to be accepted, or a certain version for people to understand you. You know, but the real people that you're around, they're not gonna need you to hide, because they're gonna help you feel how you need to feel. Yeah. Soul whisper. So this is the time to definitely take time out and just start meditating and kind of listening. So it's kind of giving the energy of like paying attention to your thoughts, paying attention to your feelings. So like I have moments where like I literally just be sitting in my bed and like I be feeling like this, but it just really be me just being in a moment of just like breathing and like calming down and just kind of letting whatever I feel come to me, whether it be a thought I have, something I hear, something I feel within inside of me, right? And you just keep building on it. And when you keep building on it, that's what's gonna help you really build, like listening to your intuition and listening to like what you really feel, versus then getting your mind. Because it literally says on here, it says everything you want is all around you, just waiting for you to see it. So it's kind of like giving the energy of like when you think like something is not for you, or it's not working out for you, right? But maybe that's you being in that confusion of the mind and not seeing it clearly, right? But now that you start tapping inward, you kind of start getting clear. Like it's getting clear. Like it's getting clearer. Like something's getting clear. Either something is getting clear or something is getting clearer. Meaning like something was clear, but now it's getting clearer. So it's like diving into like being more clear. All right. So the next one we got is gentle release. Let yourself surrender. And what did we say earlier, right? About surrendering, right? Let yourself surrender to the flow of life's mystery. Let yourself surrender to the flow of life's mysterious currents. Meaning like, so this is kind of giving me that ebb and flow. So that means like, you know how we have days where we're feeling good, and then we have days where we're feeling bad, right? Well, a lot of times you kind of got to let yourself just like let go of those things that is trying to pull you down. Like when you're having your lows, you can't let yourself get so caught up in the mind of like everything's going to shit, everything's going to bad. You kind of got to give yourself that space to be in that moment stillness and let go and flow. And that's what's going to really help you build up that strength to be able to do what you got to do, say what you got to say, feel what you got to feel. And it's going to start building this internal sense of self, internal sense of what feels right, internal sense of like what you see is right. And you're not going to be in that confusion no more, because now you're starting to trust yourself, right? Which is what we was talking about in the beginning, right? About trusting your inner vision, trusting your inner voice, trusting your intuition, right? To guide you to the right direction, or the right choices and the right things. But if you're not really trusting that, and you're just going off your ego, off reacting, then you're never going to be able to like see clearly, right? All right, let me get one more. So let me get some advice closing out, and this will be it because I didn't think it was going to be too long. Flames of passion. It says, let your flames of passion light your way. So this is hard. So this is telling you, let your heart lead. So this is giving energy. Let your heart lead you to where you're meant to go. And that's my last message, literally. Ocean of possibilities. Because once you start letting your heart, you get in this sense of trusting yourself, trusting your heart, then you're going to start seeing like, okay, damn, like the past not as hard as I thought it was, right? It was me and fear, it was me and that confusion, me and my mind, me and my fears, my doubts, thinking the worst, right? And then living the worst, right? So you kind of got to start learning how to trust more your inner voice, trust that internal guidance, trust the intuitive nudges that you get that push you to do things. Remember what I said? The intuitive nudges is always going to push you to do something that's right. But in the moment, if you ain't never did the right thing, hell yeah, doing the right thing is scary, right? But remember what I said. But that's when you got to start making the right choices, when you're getting pushed to do it, when you're getting pulled to do it, versus then, and you'll feel that struggle, because you'll feel that balance of like you wanted to do the right thing, but then steady doing the wrong thing. And that's how you start really seeing yourself from doing like what your ego want, and then versus listening to your intuition and your soul. And then that's where you kind of start seeing like, damn, so this whole time I've been letting my ego run the show. And that's how you start seeing like where you at for real. And a lot of times, like, it is hard to admit that to self, but that's the first thing, right? That's the first part of healing, right? Admitting all your wrongs to yourself. It's not about doing it to somebody else, because you got to first be able to accept accountability within inside of yourself before you go to someone else to try to accept accountability, you know? But all right, y'all, that's all I got. I hope this resonates with somebody. Leave a like, comment, send this to somebody if this resonates for them. But thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all have a great, great, lovely Saturday. Like I'm about to have me a good one. So grateful for everybody that tuned in. We'll catch you guys in the next video.